Yo, 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 everybody. It's Tyler with Hook Sets Are Free. Hope you guys are doing well. It is Thursday night, April the 6th, 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hope everybody's doing well. I've got a couple of baits to show you. I'm not sure if you guys would have watched the video that I posted yesterday unboxing this package here, but we're going to talk about one bait in particular, as well as just kind of run through all of the new releases from the Bassmaster Classic, looking on Tackle Warehouse. And so we will go through the Megabass Dark Sleeper and all of its features first here, take our time with it. But let me greet you all. Hope everybody's doing well. Chicken fried steak. Frank in the house. What's up, Frank? I have high hopes for this one too. Tim Maynard, what's up, dude? Daniel T, yo, yo. Losing big fish. How's it going? Brendan in the house. JP in the house. How you guys doing tonight? Frank says, I only bought one craw because I bought a bunch of dark sleepers and it took over a year and a half to catch something on one, and it was a walleye. Yeah, I hear you, dude. That is a slight concern of mine as well. You know, I have a bunch of the dark sleepers and the sleeper gills, and neither one has held up to the expectations that I had for them up until this point. So I decided to pick up a handful of them to start out. Not going absolutely crazy, but my intent is to give two of these away very soon. I'm thinking I'm going to post the giveaway this weekend and then maybe just let it run for a few days or perhaps as long as a week. But somehow, some way, the one that I opened in my unboxing video and then took out to fish with is misplaced right now. I think it's in my car that I took to go fishing the other day and my wife took to work tonight. So unfortunately, I don't have that one to show you, but doesn't matter. That's the Scuppernong Blue Flake. Obviously, it's been fished and at this point is not one that I'm going to give away. So you need not worry about that, but I will open two more here and then leave two unopened to be able to send to one of you lucky winners. And yeah, good luck to everybody for that. So stay tuned. I will show you the colors right now in the pack and let you guys kind of tell me what your preference is in terms of color selection, and we'll go from there. So I have four colors here that I have not opened. Here they are. These are not necessarily the most in-demand colors, but are all still solid. I want to say that this bait comes in like 13 different colors. So let me show you what the four of them are. It's possible that the quality of the video and just how up close you're able to see this bait on tonight's stream will be better than in the video that I posted yesterday. So you can see that it says Swing Craw Arm. And then something super weird. Carapace Fook Guard. Whatever that means. So 5/8 of an ounce and a 3-inch bait. This is muddy copper. So very basic color pattern here, but super natural. This is brown with copper flake. Okay, so that is an option. If you guys are interested in this one, let me know. This is probably the next most similar one. This one is called Smoke Sunset. And you'll see that this guy has purple and gold flake all throughout. But what you can't necessarily see on the webcam right now is that this bait, this color pattern is super translucent. So very see-through bait. Obviously going to be best in clear water, more so than that muddy copper. Let's stick with clear water. We've got the Natural Pro Blue. And that is exactly what you would think. It is a very translucent color with a lot of blue iridescence to it. Natural Pro Blue. And then lastly is the Scuppernong. And I figure you guys will want this as one of the 4 colors, but you tell me which 2 of these 4 colors you would be most interested in. So Scuppernong, Natural Pro Blue, Smoke Sunset, and Muddy Copper. Okay. Drop a comment and let me know which 2 of these colors you would like most. And I'll take the votes and just rip open 2 of these baits so that I can show you right now. Drinking the ice water in here so that I can pour myself a bourbon real quick. Let me greet the rest of you who have jumped in here since I greeted the first ones. Got Michael Bradley in the house. Wow, I am behind on comments. Sorry about that. Jermaine. What's up, Jermaine? How you doing? John Lee. Yo, yo. Love that you guys are all just greeting each other. Ronald Rockmore, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Tom Mix, how you doing? Thank you all for participating in the chat. Again, let me know which of those 4 colors, which 2 you would be most interested in winning. Assuming you guys, you are the giveaway winner, which 2 would you like? And I suppose I'll leave it open to where if you did win and you wanted one of the colors that I opened tonight, you're more than welcome to have it. Assuming I didn't go fishing this weekend and already use it, but we will see. It's a shame you don't speak Japanese. Yeah, that was interesting to see Jeffrey the King's video on YouTube and how he's taking an interest in learning Japanese, especially the more that he goes to Japan, and maybe has long-term ambitions to move to Japan. So good on him. Bruce says he wants the copper and the scupper. Okay. Brendan wants to learn Japanese as well. Muddy Copper, says Dennis. What's up, Dennis? Blue and the brown. Pro Blue and the copper. Blue and the brown. Well, thank you, Frank. Yeah. Everybody do me a quick favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Would appreciate it. Scuppernong is your favorite. Yeah. I know that it's Brendan's as well. So Dave Jolly in the house. How you doing? So nobody said the Smoke Sunset. Cool. At least I don't think so. But you guys are kind of between these 3. The Muddy Copper, the Pro Blue, and the Scuppernong. Well, maybe I'll just let that marinate. Frank says, I love supper, but I prefer breakfast. Daniel said supper, not scupper. That's hilarious. Interesting. I don't think Japan would be my first choice, but for fishing reasons, I totally understand why you would say that. I would probably choose to live somewhere, like Australia or perhaps somewhere in either the Caribbean or Central America. But I don't know. And if you say ever live outside the US, there's a reasonable likelihood that my wife and kids and I will move to Europe for 1 year in a handful of years from now, when our kids are kind of just the right age where it's not super inappropriate to pull them out of the school system, but give them an opportunity to live abroad and experience another culture and do a bunch of traveling in Europe. So that's most likely where we will go, whether it's Spain or France or Italy. I'm not sure. Tonight, we are drinking Elijah Craig small batch, very classic bourbon. Easy drinking, yet 94 proof, and does pack just enough of a punch. Very delicious. So, All right, so I'm going to open the Smoke Sunset color for you guys so that you can see the features of this bait. And as I mentioned in my unboxing video yesterday, you'll notice that as you try to open this bait, it is almost impossible to open it without destroying the cardboard and it just ripping right off. Let's see if I can kind of do what the guys at the hookup do and just open this from the side. That kind of worked. Interesting. So yeah, if you just go straight in from the side and pull that staple open, you can access the bait, and then it'll be difficult to get it back in there properly. But either way, what I tend to do is take the cardboard off of these baits and then just keep the clamshell so that the bait doesn't get too warped up. And I say that especially with this bait because it is made from a TPE elastomer style material. So if you put this in just a standard tackle box, it is going to either get twisted or it's going to melt with other soft plastics that it comes in contact with. So you're going to want to keep it in the single clamshell that it comes in. But let's break down this bait. This is the Megabass Sleeper Craw. So it does look a little bit different than the photos of it when it was first announced last summer. I believe it was announced at ICAST in 2022, and it does look a hair different. So if you were to look at, say, photos of it posted by the guys from Tackle Tour or Wired to Fish from last summer, this bait is a hair different than it initially looked. But otherwise, it is the same concept, and it's a cool bait. So line tie is here. Most of the weight is sitting right in here. In fact, you can feel it stop right after this third section on the bottom. So this bait does want to sit like so in the water. And I did have a chance to take this out and fish it the other day, and I was surprised at its posture. I thought it was going to land and then lay down slowly, but this thing actually does kind of sit at a perfect angle for the most part. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. Now, a couple other little features to note. This bait looks a lot like the Savage Gear 3D and 4D Craws. So here you'll see that the bottom of the bait in the design of it being essentially from a 3D scan of a real crawdad is right there. Now, the Savage Gear ones are more elongated, and you'll notice that the Sleeper Craw has that tucked in tail, which reminds me most of, say, the Z-Man Pro Craws. So the Z-Man Pro Craws has this look where the tail is tucked in. It's a longer bait at 3.5 inches, but very similar profile. I think a little bit more realistic with this guy. So you get that stretchy, but not as stretchy as what you get with a Lastec, right? So you're going to get durability out of this bait for sure. But the main thing to note about it is that the body is hollow. Not sure how well you can see it here, but the body itself is hollow and the hook is hidden inside the body. Okay, so this will happen as you're fishing the bait, just like is the case with the sleeper gill and the dark sleeper, that it will not always perfectly sit inside its hook pocket. However, when it does, this bait was quite a bit more weedless than I thought it would be, and quite a bit more weedless than the dark sleeper, for example. So I know I only fished this thing for an hour or maybe a little bit more than that, but I was pleasantly surprised when throwing this into heavy cover that it didn't really get hung up. And so for that, I am optimistic. The one thing I am not pessimistic, but a little bit concerned about is the harness system staying inside the bait as you begin to fight fish. Is this elastomer material going to pull down and off of the weight and harness system? So even though it's made from a durable material, how well is that harness going to stay in the bait? We will see. But I do love that the claws are hollow. That is not the case with the Z-Man Pro Craws, but is the case with the Savage Gear. Now, this is the smaller version, and it's not made from TPE, so you probably can't hear that. Whatever. It makes a little bit of a difference. So the Savage Gear does have a hollow body and hollow craws, but is made from a standard plastisol material, whereas the Sleeper Craw is made from elastomer and has the hollow craws. So it's got the buoyancy combined with the durability working in its favor. That hidden hook, I think, is a good thing because it makes the bait look all that much more realistic, that you can't see the weight, you can't see the hook. So I think it is going to fool more fish than either of the other two baits that I just showed you, given that they do need to be rigged and have a hook and or weight exposed. And that is a slight disadvantage, I suppose. But the Sleeper Craw is definitely intriguing, but it's a little bit expensive at $9.99 per bait. Can you see that this is translucent? I don't know if you can, but when I hold this up to the light, I can see that really only this much of the bait, probably 30 to 40%, just the bottom section of the bait is solid, molded around that weight system, and then a large majority of the bait is hollow. So from about here up is all hollow. And I'm not mad about it. I think it's going to lead to an increased hookup ratio for sure. I think the hook on this thing looks to be solid, kind of that perfect gauge for a finesse bait. And this hook slot is rather wide. It's big. So you'll notice here as I release that, just how deep that goes and how hollow the top portion of this bait is. So I'm happy about it. I'm excited about it, but do want to stay somewhat realistic and don't want to get ahead of myself, because if I end up fishing this and I lose it very quickly, and that happens with multiple baits, like happened to me with the Dark Sleeper, I will be disappointed and will not continue to purchase many of these. So I will keep you guys posted on this. One more time, I'm going to let you guys vote. Out of these three colors, which two do you want? Scuppernong, which is a solid, almost like a red bug type of color, but without the flake. So a solid, dark brownish red color. Natural Pro Blue, which is a translucent color with a lot of blue iridescence in it. And then Muddy Copper, which is a straight brown, kind of a lightish brown, bordering on green pumpkin with copper flake. So copper, blue, scupper. Drop a comment. Let me know which two you want. Scupper, copper, blue. I'm going to catch up on your comments because, you know, this isn't ideal, but let me see what I missed. Elijah Craig, my man. You know, it's affordable and delicious, and I'm going to have one or two tonight. This one's going to be cold, and the next one's going to be neat. Sleeper Craw is going to become a legend. I am curious. It seems like it is poised to potentially be that, but who knows if it will, because I think the point that Brendan made while commenting on this bait in my unboxing video yesterday is totally valid. I mean, quite literally, this bait was designed to be a jig replacement. So how different is it than a jig without a skirt? I don't know. You know, if you throw this bait right here, the Z-Man Pro Craws, on their hook that was designed for this bait, which of course I probably don't have any handy on me. Most of them are upstairs right now. It is like a Texas rig, like a pegged Texas rig hook, a bullet weight with an EWG hook on there, and it's got a belly weight on it as well. So it is designed for the bait to sit perfectly at a 45 and rest on bottom without laying down or sitting up too tall. So, you know, a bait like this on a Ned rig will stand straight up and looks pretty unnatural. But a bait like this on a standard Texas rig is going to lay down and then also be somewhat unnatural. So I think a defensive posture like this guy has built in, or this guy with the Pro Bullets jig heads, are kind of perfect. Now, there are a bunch of other baits on the market like it already. You know, this is the River to Sea Clackin' Crayfish that has hollow craws on it. You'll notice on Discount Tackle right now that they just posted the new live target version of kind of the same bait. So, yeah, there are other baits like it, but I think Megabass carries a certain reputation. And with the success that they've had with the mag draft and then the entire sleeper series of baits, I think you're right, John. It might just become a legend of a bait. Now, Jermaine, you said that in the comments the other day, but let's be honest. The Agent E is like the dark sleeper. It's not the same type of bait, dude. That is a bottom fishing goby imitator that can be swum through the water column, but is meant to imitate a goby or bait fish, not a craw. So to even say that you're an Agent E guy doesn't make sense. That is a better question right there. Berkeley will inevitably make something of the sort. Agent C, I don't know, but yeah, I know Agent E is for Edwin Evers, not for a Gobi or anything like that. But yeah, it's inevitable and probably sooner than later. Berkeley has become quite the copycat company over the last couple of years, but they still put out really good stuff. So can't necessarily hate on them, but they've been pumping stuff out, some original and a lot not in the last couple of years. No, Daniel, I haven't gotten any bites from bass at all this year, dude. I caught a couple of sunfish on my BFS setup using a marabou jig that I had tied, kind of a micro jig. And I caught one rainbow trout at a different lake on the Willow Vibe chatterbait with, I can't remember which trailer I had on it, whether it was the Savage Gear Ned minnow or the 3-inch minnows from Z-Man, but I was throwing both of those that day as trailers. But which bait did you think was bigger? You think this is bigger than you thought it would be at 3 inches? I don't know. I mean, it's got some bulk to it, right? So I will give you that, but it's not a big craw. Brian Waterman, you didn't miss much, man. We're just talking about the sleeper craw for now, and then we will move on and talk about other releases from the Bassmaster Classic. We'll hop on Tackle Warehouse and just show how underwhelming it all was. So haven't really missed much, man. And I know that I'm behind on comments, so I'm trying to catch up. Sorry about that. Dude, Tim, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, okay. On chatterbaits that hunt. Well, jackhammer will hunt just fine. I think the hunting action in a chatterbait often comes from the way that you retrieve it, not necessarily the built-in action of the bait. So a hunting chatterbait is kind of a relative thing. Frank, no worries, dude. You're still listening. All right. Well, appreciate you being here, Frank. JP, I hear ya. Yes and no. It's elastomer. So yes. I mean, it's not like Z-Man pours it by any means. This is not as stretchy as a Laztec, right? I just showed you. Here's a Laztec pulling this as hard. Way more stretchy, way more buoyant, but I think this has just the right combination of durability and buoyancy that I'm excited about it. But good to see you, Adam. Thanks for being in here. Bruce, is it going to fill with water? I mean, yeah, but not concerningly so. The entire bottom of the bait is solid, even where the weight is not there. So, like I said, there's a section, probably 30% of the bait that is solid all the way across. And then the nose is solid as well, but just to here. And then it's hollow all the way back to here. So the first 3 sections of body are totally solid, and then it becomes hollow. Can you see that? Right. I thought I had an angle where you could see the translucency. I almost want to. No, you're not going to be able to see that. My bad. Yeah, I'm sad I didn't buy the red one either, but it wasn't in stock. So, you got to do what you got to do. I also don't necessarily throw a lot of red jigs. I throw red chatterbaits and red crankbaits, red moving baits, but not a lot of bright red jigs or soft plastics for the most part. John, I'm with you on that one, dude. Jerkbaits and crankbaits will hunt a lot more than a vibrating jig. I don't think a vibrating jig is really meant to hunt straight out of the pack. So Brennan said Pro Blue. That's so true, Adam. Good point. Natural Pro Blue is dope. Scupper and Pro Blue. Natural Pro Blue and Muddy Copper. Scupper and Copper. Caro in the house. Caro. Scupper or Copper. Oh, look at Daniel posting the link. If you guys want to buy any sleeper craws, go check out Discount Tackle first. I think there's only maybe 4 or so colors in stock right now. There is the Ghost Craw, which is totally translucent with a little bit of blue flake in there. Midnight Melon, which is like a gold flake and a watermelon color. The Muddy Copper is in stock, and the Smoked Sunset is in stock. So the color I'm showing you guys right now. So the Scupper Nong, I will throw in, just for the sake of you guys being able to get 2 colors that are not in stock right now. How about we just call it the Scupper Nong and the Pro Blue? Okay, sorry to Ronald, because I know that you wanted that Muddy Copper, but if you really want a Muddy Copper, go buy one at Discount Tackle. Use that link that was just up there, and I would greatly appreciate the support of you using the link. So these 2 are going to be in the giveaway, which I will post most likely tomorrow. I will post it. I'll post a video on YouTube, and then I will make a post on Instagram, but force everybody from Instagram to come over here to YouTube to enter. So I know that in the past, I used to give people the opportunity to enter on either platform, and 9 times out of 10, someone from Instagram would win. So given that I haven't really been on Instagram much in the last year or more, we're going to make this a YouTube giveaway, but announce it on both platforms. So here are the 2 colors that are up for grabs that one person is going to win. We've got Scupper Nong and Natural Pro Blue. Again, I'll show you these 2 colors up close. Scupper Nong. Very popular color in the South. And then Natural Pro Blue. This one should be a gangster color. Super translucent. So more of a clear water color, and then more of a do everything type of color. Neither one of these really has any flake in it. I mean, of course, the Natural Pro Blue has a lot of black flake in it, but the Scupper Nong, I don't believe has any flake. A little bit of black. Okay. These 2 are going to be free of charge to one of you guys. So maybe I should just go ahead and open the Muddy Copper since we're at it, since we just announced what you're getting. And if Ronald, if you end up winning, feel free to tell me that you want this specific color. This is the Muddy Copper. It almost has like a matte brown type of finish on it with that copper flake in there. So I bought this one knowing that it would do well in my waters. And I got to say, I'm not mad that you guys voted it out to a certain extent. Like I said, this is almost like in between green pumpkin and brown. And I like it. So anyway, that is the Sleeper Craw. Enough talking about it, unless you guys have anything that you've mentioned in the last couple of minutes. So John says craws are highly underrated. Sorry, Dennis. Muddy copper. I could put it back in the pack if you want. Dustin Taylor, nobody's minding you. Don't worry about it, man. You're trying on baits or tying on baits? Are you going fishing tomorrow, dude? It's not necessarily about them looking natural. It's about the secondary action of the skirt flaring that I think gets the job done with jigs. Yeah, Adam, you're right. The Yum Craw Bug, but I don't think the Yum Craw Bug is pre-weighted, dude, right? I think I have some of them. So this is the Yum Craw Bug rigged on a shaky head. This is like an owner ultra shaky head. So that's about as close as you're going to get. It is a hollow bait as well. I don't like the action of this bait quite as well. I do like, I already talked about it, but the Savage gear, throwing on something similar. This is like a EWG, the owner football head EWG. I like this bait. And then, yeah, what is this bait right here, guys? Can anyone tell me what this is? Is this a big bite baits? It's got a lot of head on it, but if you trim that down, then you get something more like this on a shaky head. Also has a hollow body, but this is not a pre-rigged bait. None of these are. And then lastly, this is a discontinued bait. We don't need to talk about it. Okay. So yeah, there's a couple of pre-rigged baits on the market, but those don't really fit into that category. And now I've got black licorice on my fingers, but I can get that out of my nose with a little bit of bourbon. Dude, Maxent, very hard to beat still. If only Berkeley would put Maxent in some slightly better profiles and or something buoyant or even neutrally buoyant instead of just super salty. I mean, Maxent would still be as on fire as it was a couple of years ago. Now, for whatever reason, people just aren't talking about it as much, but I still have a ton and throw a ton of Maxent. So Jermaine, you're right, but that's somewhere between hunting and just very inconsistent. I did not like that bait. Absolutely ridiculous action. Oh, also, by the way, did anybody see the photos on Six Senses website where they were kind of, I don't know, accidentally teasing their bladed jig coming out? I took a screenshot of it the other day, and I am curious. So this is on their website, like in one of the background photos of, if you notice the trailer that's on this, it's that bongo, the new soft plastic. And so when you hover over pictures of their baits, they oftentimes have a photo of it rigged. And one of them is on this chatterbait. It's a 6 Sense Divine swim bait head, or swim jig head, if you will. But if you notice the connection, it looks like they've got some notches or borderline extra line ties right on top of the eyes. And so I guess maybe that gets around the patent that Z-Man has. I'm not sure, but interesting nonetheless. Really, Caro? The sunset looks a lot like your Craws currently. Mine usually don't get quite this much purple or gold in them. Um, they tend to be pretty brown, maybe a little bit of blue in them. So that's a big reason why I got the muddy copper as well as that natural pro blue. But I'm a man of the people. I am going to give you guys what you want. And also, I am going to send out my packages. Now, I don't even feel like I should be saying that, but I promise you guys, you'll get your packages, even if it's 3, 4, 5, 6 months late. Sorry, guys. We don't need to talk smack about me right now. We all love each other. Am I right? Ronald says Z-Man Pro Craws, 4-aught, wide gap hook, and a Mustad Fast Tech football weight half ounce is my weapon of choice. Nice. That's a good little rig there, dude. Little wobblehead action, not a bad idea. 4-aught might be a little bit big on that bait, but it works. Brian, I'm not totally sure. The riprap that I fish tends to be pretty chunky, like big rocks. So I get hung a lot when I let my stuff fall into the crevices. But you might be right. Depends on the size of the riprap, I suppose. Matt, what's up, dude? How you doing tonight? Yes, Frank. Yes. All right, I'm catching up on you guys. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. Chicken fried steak. Howdy. Weren't you the first one in here, dude? Did you leave and come back? No, it's not Zoom. I think it's Big Bite Baits, especially given the scent that it had. I might have the packages of them elsewhere, but I'm not going to go digging for it because it's a bait that I don't really care about. Nice, Dustin. Pre-fishing tomorrow. Do you have a tournament this weekend? If you do, good luck, man. If you don't, good luck. There you go, Daniel. Big Bite Baits Craw Worm. That's what it was. Nice. Yeah, you know, Tim, it's hard to remember sometimes. One is hollow and the other is not, but otherwise they look the same and I think they cost the same. Um, I want to say the 4D is hollow and the 3D is not, but again, I can't remember either. Yeah, how's Jermaine still awake, dude? And you saw that about the 6 Sense bladed jig. I mean, yeah, we've heard very little about it being teased or the fact that it's going to come out, but 6 Sense is also one company that has been pumping baits out and is going to continue to pump baits out. I will say, when we hop over on Tackle Warehouse in a second, you'll see that I do have a cart built up there. I placed an order at 6 cents the other day and then canceled it like an hour later or less, because I do want to purchase a few other things. And I realized that a lot of those baits that I was going to buy at 6 cents are on sale at Tackle Warehouse as well. And those treble heads were selling out like crazy fast on 6 cents, but not as fast at Tackle Warehouse. So changed my mind. Dustin says, I hated the Max Scent jig trailers. Every time I used them, they hit the chunk, not the jig. Interesting. Yeah, you got to slim it down, dude. They hit Max Scent. That is for sure. No, I don't think it's a switchblade, but I don't know. Adam Odin has not shown his face tonight, so who knows? In fact, I don't think he's been around for the last week or so. So hopefully he knows that our thoughts are with him, that we're thinking about him. I'm trying to catch up to you guys. I'm going to just... I said, let's not talk smack about me, guys, you know? I'm going to skip your comments so that I can catch up to what you guys are talking about. 6 cents is innovative. I agree. You had a good day and you're still jazzed up. Nice. Caught a limit. Sweet, dude. All right. So what does that put you at for this month's tournament in terms of 5 fish, dude? Where are you at? Are you ahead of Brendan and his, what was it, 83 inches or something like that? That would be nice of you, Matt. Maybe we should all just reach out to Adam and say, hey, how you doing, man? Thinking about you. Truth CODM. I wish I could get you all caught up, other than the fact that it's springtime and you need not worry, other than the fact that you probably missed out on a lot of good fishing. But just like is the case every year, there's always next year. There's always this year, dude. So not a lot to catch you up on, other than the fact that a lot of new baits came out over the last year. And I'm going to start posting a ton of videos, not necessarily review videos, but more or less unboxing and showing you which lures are newest on the market. So I just created a new playlist that the video I posted yesterday unboxing this guy, the Megabass Sleeper Craw, is the first video in that playlist, which is labeled as new for 2023. And I have probably 30 or 40 baits that are new for 2023 in my arsenal, and we'll be talking about them one by one in individual videos. So if you want to learn about that and be caught up on what the latest and greatest is, by all means, make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications turned on, and check out videos up and coming, because I will be posting at least once, if not twice or 3 times a week moving forward. I apologize for being a lazy bum over the last, I don't know, year and a half here on YouTube. Haven't been posting videos, but rather been just streaming live. I want to get in the habit of doing both. The growth of my channel has slowed dramatically since I stopped posting. YouTube is big on frequency of posting, does not care about live streams. We have developed a community of people in these live streams, which I am grateful for and passionate about. I appreciate all of you guys. So that said, I'm not going to stop live streaming, but I will probably stop doing all of my unboxings live. We will just do more hanging out, talking about some of the stuff that I already unboxed, and I'm going to get into more of a rhythm of posting videos. So, no way he's beating you. Whatever, Brendan. Probably talking in your ASMR voice right now, dude, since it's late at night. But even in your comment in our chat stream today, talking about the the new bait that's coming out this Sunday that I think we're all crossing our fingers that we might get one. You sounded excited. You projected your voice. You're talking like this in a, your regular voice, not like this. Yeah. And oh, it's a beautiful bait. Yeah, just, it's late at night and obviously I'm trying not to wake anybody up, but you know what I'm talking about. And we all love bass fishing so much. Brendan has a really deep voice. Sounds like he should be on the radio every night. You know what I mean? Brendan, stop talking about it. But yeah, Brendan, we want to hear your voice, like your regular voice, your talking voice. Let's not pretend like you talk at half volume and one octave lower than normal all the time. You don't. I assume it's because you live at home with the rest of your family and you're not trying to wake people up late at night. But we all notice you're talking in a different voice than what is normal. So put up some soundproofing, plug your door with a towel or something, and be your true self, man. Because it kind of weirds me out when you talk like this. And we all love the sound of your voice, and it's soothing and it's lovely. And we could talk about 6th Sense lures. Ooh, it's gorgeous. Look at that thing. Oh my man. Oh yeah. Did I have a full beard? No, I didn't, dude. I trim my beard about once every 2 months or so. I'm sorry for being critical, but yeah, I figured that's what it was for. No problem. But yeah, I mean, did you not notice how many people were commenting last night? Like, what is with Brendan? Maybe we all heard you talking on the Monster Bass live the other night as the final caller, and you came with some enthusiasm. You came with your voice like normal, not like this, and talking like a little bit low and quiet and whoa, oh yeah, baby. Trying to riz his fans. Yeah, for sure. It's for the girls his age. He's trying to attract ladies, or who knows, because I think Caro's the only lady, maybe Heather. Other than that, it's mostly dudes. And you're either weirding us out or you're making us feel weird about our own sexuality, dude. So cut it out. All right. Yeah, they're asleep. Well, I don't know. Maybe you should move your podcast setup into a different room. What about into your bait cave, into your shop, dude? I don't know. Just thinking. I know Heather is yours. I mean, I think she wants Jermaine, if we're being honest, but maybe Brendan is going after Heather as well. Who knows who he's trying to attract with his voice? Anyway, guys, I swear I am not inebriated by the small amount of bourbon that I've had tonight, but I might be by the end of this stream. So let's jump over to Tackle Warehouse and talk about just how underwhelming the load of Bassmaster Classic releases were this year. Okay. Appreciate you guys thinking that this is funny. Appreciate y'all. What did Tim say? What did Tim say? First time he sent you a voice message, you thought you were being pranked. Yeah, well, I think Brendan has 2 voices, and he uses one when he's excited and one when he's not. And so, Brendan, you just got to be real. Are you excited to be podcasting? Excited to do your live streams or not? Ooh, Daniel wants a piece of Heather. Frank, you better watch out, dude. Yeah. Jermaine was looking pretty fine, huh? According to Frank last night. Yeah, either that or Brennan really needs to release a legit podcast and needs to script his stuff because definitely has a radio style voice. No doubt about it. And I could go an octave deeper and maybe throw a little country swang on that bitch and who knows, we could get a little bit classy up. I can't do it. I don't have a radio voice, but Brendan does. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I can have a deeper voice. Let's talk tackle warehouse. Tackle warehouse. All right. I already had this business pulled up. Um, we're just gonna roll through this. It might only take me 10 or 15 minutes because it's so underwhelming. 6 cents. Okay, a little bit more noteworthy. I don't care for EWG style jigs all that much. And they've put out a lot of crappie baits and hair jig style baits this past year, and good on them, but doesn't quite interest me. This treble head is what interests me the most. Okay. And you'll notice I do have 15 things sitting here in my cart right now, including some treble heads and some munches and some baby whales and some more treble heads and some more treble heads. Okay. So, that's not why we're over here. We're looking at the classic releases. This bait looks to be interesting. I'm not sure which view is going to be bigger for you. Let's see if we can zoom a hair. There we go. So, literally, you just thread your line through the head, tie on your treble hook, screw it into the bait, and then tuck the treble hook in where you want it to, whether it's in the middle of the bait, a little bit closer to the front, or all the way in the back. Gives you the option to do what you want. Here it's rigged on a Kitech. I guess Tackle Warehouse did that and not 6 Cents. On 6 Cents' website, they've got it rigged on, I think, 3 different baits. The Divine swim bait, the whale, as well as the sweep. So, interesting. I'm thinking it could be deadly on the sweep. Thrown in a little bit of a heavier size. So, if you threw like a half ounce, 3/4, or 1 ounce size, I think it could be awesome for throwing this bait in deep water, especially that bluegill color on like a bluegill sweep. So, had that on my mind for sure, and I'm curious about it. But you say the Treblehead is a ripoff of Lure Parts Online Slip Shad. You might be right, dude. The Slip Shad. That rings a bell for sure, but I don't know that for certain. He's doing what he needs to do. You're right. Keep in mind, Brendan just turned 18. He lives in his parents' house with his siblings. So he's doing what he has to do. But do you not have a basement? I thought the shop was outside the house. You've got a lot of room in that shop. Can you set up your computer in there and talk to us like a man? I don't know. Well, I guess you sound more like a man than any of us do with that lower, quieter voice of yours. Oh, yeah. I can't. Sorry. Can't help it. When you buy that small house, hopefully this year. Really? Dude, you're going to buy a house? Congratulations. That would be awesome. Home ownership is a beautiful thing. I agree that it's a cool idea, but I didn't think about the fact that It's perhaps not a fully original idea. The slip shad rings a bell, but I don't know if I have any of them. Hmm. Tim, I'll have you on sometime soon, all right? You guys know that I don't do guests all that often, but there's no real good reason that I don't. So, by all means, please do. Brendan, how many siblings do you have actually? I'm curious about that. All right, back we go to the warehouse of tackle. I think we can all admit that the line through treble head is a good idea. It's just a matter of how effective it will actually be. Will it allow the bait to run true no matter what you're using, or will it be somewhat soft plastic sensitive? Will you need to throw a certain type of bait on it? I don't know, because these things come in a wide variety, ranging from as little as 1/8 of an ounce, where you've got 3 to a pack, all the way to 1 ounce. 3/4 and 1 ounce come 2 to a pack. So these are not cheap, but I think they're reasonable for what they are. You can get them raw or in shad or in a gill type of color. And that's cool. I'm interested. As you'll notice here, most of these are in stock right now. There's only a couple of these that are sold out. And if you went on to Six Senses website, I think they're pretty much all sold out right now, which is obnoxious. So the other baits that I'm kind of interested in from Six Sense are the Six Sense Provoke Silent. Now, again, these are a little bit expensive at 14 to 15 bucks. A true mid to high price jerkbait. I think that's somewhat appropriately priced for what it is. We talked about this last night on our chat that Six Sense makes some amazing colors. This is the Morning Dawn Flash, Pro Blue Scales. Ben Milliken actually sands all these scales off and just throws a straight Pro Blue version of it. This Shad Dawn color is pretty nasty. And then Table Rock Pro looks good. So these are all great colors, but this is a silent jerk bait. And the Provoke is a really solid jerk bait. Comes very well rigged straight out of the pack. Does not need to be tuned, and the trebles don't need to be upgraded. So I like it. They also make a slow sink version and a deep diving version. So good on them. But that standard silent version is what appeals to me. Here's the slow sinking versions. Now, the Trace is a 6-inch swim bait that they just came out with a 5-inch version. They're going to do the same thing with the Draw glide bait in making it in a downsized version. So quite a bit more manageable at right around 1 ounce. You can see that it comes in a float, a slow sink, or a fast sink. I mean, appealing, but I think it's 25 bucks. So I'm on the fence about it. I have 1 or 2 of the standard Trace, and I really like the action of it. So odds are I will get one in the 5-inch sooner or later. That's about it from Six Sense that really appeals to me. Otherwise, maybe a couple of new colors. Morning Dawn Flash is one of them that appealed to me in the silent version. So Advantage baits, don't know it. Bait Sanity, don't really throw them, but the Explorer glides coming in some suspending versions, things like that. That's pretty cool. Biz baits, nah. Booyah, spinner baits, quality, but looks like they're going up in price at $10 a pop. Cumberland jigs, Daiwa with some of the new, Tatula rods and Steez and Tatula MQ reels. If you want to learn about the MQ reels, you can watch Punch Fishing and his live stream he was a guest on Debo's live stream last weekend and was talking way too much about the MQ stuff. Monocoque is what it stands for. This Daiwa bait looks interesting, but definitely too expensive at $70. Demiki putting out a bunch of hard baits. I'm sure that some of these are going to be great, but am I going to get them right away? No. Defiant, high quality. Who doesn't see Defiant and think Oliver Nye? I mean, you kind of have to. $60 for the 210 size swim bait is a good price. Well, not good price for the bait, but good price for what it is, I suppose. $100 for the 247 feels expensive. Depths. Sold out of the 250 Butch Brown tuned. Custom colors of the cover scat. They put out a black and blue green pumpkin, a green pumpkin plum blue flake. So let's look at these real quick. Do they have it listed as Tackle Warehouse? Yeah, okay, here we go. Black and blue green pumpkin looks nice. And then green pumpkin plum blue flake. Nice. Not mad about those, okay? Depths cover scat is legit. If you didn't already throw it, you need to, because it is like the Geek Crack Bellows Gill. It's one of those baits that you think is gimmicky until you use it, and then you start catching the snot out of them. I'm about to pee my pants. I wish I wasn't going to. I'll let you guys talk for a second in the comments while I mute this business so that I can pee. I'm back. What's up? You guys know I always pee on a live stream, but it is what it is. Had to. What? Tim, you only got one of them though. That's a shame, dude. If you have more of them, I would trade you. And I believe you, John. Tackle Warehouse is probably overnight if you live in California. Well, I appreciate you guys waiting for me, or at least some of you. 22 of you still in here. So let's hop back on to Tackle Warehouse. Evergreen with the Faith jerk bait coming in some new colors. This is a bait that I don't think I have already and might need to pick up at some point. Comes in some cool colors. This cotton candy looks wicked for smallmouth. Pre-spawn dynamite. I mean, who wouldn't be a sucker for that color? What did they just list as the new colors? Skeleton Wakasagi, Spawn Dynamite, Natural Shad, which whatever, that's a US color. Mirror Wakasagi and Cotton Candy. So great colors. Presumably a good bait, but $17.49. I'm sure you can get it cheaper on Discount Tackle. Shameless plug. Evergreen is one of the brands that makes the most sense to purchase at Discount Tackle more than others. Okay. They also came out with the Grass Ripper in the 3/4 ounce size. So I suppose that appeals to a lot of people, not as much to me and the waters that I fish. Freedom Tackle, I think most people skip over that. This looks like a copy of a Duo Realis jerkbait. Geek Crack with a bug bait. Where's Adam Odin when you need him? The Bug P. I mean, this looks like a cool bait. I'm sure it flutters on the fall. Great colors. Geek Crack does things well, and I think they released a lot of these colors in the Bellows Gill, and now they have the Bellows Shad. Now take a look at, they have a couple of these baits on clearance. The Bunny Hog, essentially like a brush hog, and the Bellows Shad. The Beat Craw on clearance as well. So if you look at the Bellows Gill, for example, look at how many colors they have this thing in now. Some Tackle Warehouse exclusive colors. This color has been deadly for me, as has been Green Pumpkin. Wow, a lot of colors here. AJ's Spicy Avocado. Okay. AJ's Juice. Got a Fire Craw type of color. Muddy Gill. Solid Black. That one was in my cart for a minute. I'll say that. Now, moving on from Geek Crack, that Bug Pea does look interesting. Grow Design, okay. That's a soft glide bait at $46. I'm a Katsu Lazy Swimmer. This is a Huddleston style pre-rigged swim bait. I do like the fact that it has this little guy, this line tie underneath, because if you'll notice in my cart is the double assist trailer hook that is specifically designed for something of the sort. If you'll see here on this guy right there. Okay. But at that price point, I'm not totally sure about it. And it looks like they're not in stock right now. So not even on my radar just yet. Now the bounty fish coming in a couple new colors, or maybe that's a new size. I don't know. But regardless, nothing new there. Cast King with a $300 reel. Ridiculous. Megabass with the Sleeper Craw. Perhaps the highlight of the classic releases. Already talked about it tonight. The X Nanahan coming in the standard, the +1, the +2. Missile Baits, the Chunky D, that is not new. The Spunk Shad, not new. The Magic Worm, not new. Netbait, this is perhaps noteworthy. They are putting bait fuel into everything now. So good on them for finally doing this. Couple of these baits that stand out. The Kickin' Bee. This is so much like the depths. What is it called? The Barbute. Barbute? Yeah, there it is. Look at this thing. It's almost the exact same profile. The Depths Barbute Craw. 6 in a pack for $10.99. And look, oh voila, NetBait makes the same thing. 8 in a pack for less than $5. Why would you not get this? And it's made with bait fuel in it. Now, as you'll notice, this thing is selling out. There's only 4 left in stock for the Alabama Craw and the Bama Bug, 3 for Green Pumpkin Candy, 2 Okeechobee Craw, 6 Sapphire Blue, 3 for Sungill, 2 for Watermelon Red, and everything else is sold out. So these are selling out. That is noteworthy. You've seen me already pick up these pack of chunks with bait fuel in them from Discount Tackle, but they're making everything with bait fuel in it now, which is cool. So good on them for doing that. Nichols with some spinner baits. Nishini with a new hover shot / drop shot hook. Nomad with the swim tracks. That's not new. Nori's with the Escape Twin, not new. This Lattery Nico Rig worm is perhaps new, but it doesn't look innovative whatsoever. Cool colors, but doesn't probably have anybody jumping at it. The Tough Bug, I think, has been out for a while, but is an expensive popper. So I don't know. I don't know enough about it to know what it's really supposed to do. Akuma with some rods, Optimum with the Butch Brown Thumper for $40 in one color, whatever. I haven't thrown the Victory Tail Shad. The Boom Boom in its small size is legit, okay? I've talked about this a number of times, but the 4.5-inch Baby Boom Boom is nasty. And it looks like they just came out with the Crusher Shad color, Mint, Swim Bait Money as 3 new colors. So let's check those out. Where's the Crusher Shad? There's Money and Mint. Okay, here's all 3 of them. Crusher Shad. This looks kind of like the Jackson Trout. Mint. If you didn't know, Jackson is the name of Fred Rumbanis' son. And yeah, Money just looks like an albino pearl. But Crusher Shad, no, I guess it's different. That's got more of a green pumpkin back, pearl or purple middle, and then like a pearl bottom. So a bit different than the Crusher Shad. Crusher Shad looks good. All right. That Money color looks good. The Opti Shad just has a weird profile to me. I probably won't throw that. Outcast with a float and fly hair jig. Super expensive. Owner Cultiva. I will say the GetNet baits are interesting. I have that Burrican swimmer, but I don't have either of these. The Juster Shad as well as the Juster Stick. Interesting and innovative designs. So I will say good on them. Picasso coming out with a pork trailer of their own. 2 to a pack for $18. Absurd. And some weird Jika chatters and inline spinning swim jigs. I don't know what to say about those. Rowdy Buzz, don't know them. Shimano. Okay, this is a bait perhaps worthy of noting. Is a new World Rush square bill. So it's a square bill crankbait with the flash boost technology. So the Macbeth came out, which is more of a standard square bill. And then, given that this flash boost technology has been so successful in a couple of their baits, the popper and the jerk bait, they've made it in a crankbait. So interesting, but not available at this point in time. So who knows? Will I try it for 18 bucks? I don't know. Strike King putting out one new color, a saltwater color called Carolina Chrome in pretty much all of their soft plastics. Whoop-de-doo. I'm more interested in like the lavender shad, which is not a lavender shad type of color, but Carolina Chrome looks interesting. Will I jump on it and get a bunch of them? No. VMC with their new Redline hook series. Cool, but expensive for sure. Warbaits with some A-rigs. Waterland with some ridiculous sunglasses. And X-Zone with the new Gobi imitator, the Stealth Invader. Looks interesting. I was tempted to pick it up. Discount Tackle has it in stock. These come 6 to a pack for $6 and has an upside down paddle tail. Am I intrigued? Yes. Am I desperate to try it? No. And Yamamoto with the Yamatanuki. This one I'm a little bit more interested in. Curious, but it doesn't look like the buoyancy is what it should be. Though this bait, as you can see, is selling out. So only a couple of colors in stock there. And then Yum with some existing baits, perhaps in some Tackle Warehouse exclusive colors. This is the one that you need to know about, is the Yum Ned Dinger. The Ned Dinger. The tail of this guy is hollow. You can put some scent or a rattle in this thing and it will still float. It has no salt and is a floating, unassuming Ned rig bait. Surprisingly good. Other than that, whatever, that's the entire deal with Tackle Warehouse and the classic releases. So you guys tell me, what other baits were released around this time or are new for this year that already exist and are in stock? Because when I look at that list, I'm thinking, whatever. I got to say, the Megabass Sleeper Craw is probably the most and maybe the only bait on that entire list that I'm like, okay, I want to try that right now. I need to know where this fits in and whether it will become a staple in my arsenal. Everything else is kind of already existent or not that interesting or just weird. Like, what's Picasso doing? Frank, no, I don't think it should sink more. I think it needs to stand up more after it rests. I think it needs to perhaps have more buoyancy so that it doesn't bury itself into whatever it's falling down into. Yeah, I know that it's supposed to be a similar bait to, say, the Depths Cover Scat, in that it's supposed to be a heavily salted, heavy weighted bait that you throw weightless, and it's got all the action on the fall. But then what? Right? The Cover Scat has the action on the fall, and then as you twitch it, it walks underwater and then has that shimmy fall. The Yamatanuki doesn't. It has an interesting profile, a pretty interesting fall, but then doesn't look to be appealing once it settles. So that's just me. I don't know though. I haven't fished it. I've seen very limited stuff on it, and I don't know. At least the footage that they have posted about it, that thing's burying into the grass, and you can just barely see that little tail sticking out, not doing much. And it comes out, it does its thing on the way down, and then it buries in. I don't know about that. It's made to walk the dog underwater. Okay, well, the cover scat does too. So maybe Yamamoto's just jumping on that bandwagon. I don't know. All right, Brendan. You have a great rest of your night. Thanks for hopping in, and good luck on the water, dude. I hope that you whoop Jermaine's ass, because I know Jermaine's not in here anymore. But go catch a hog tomorrow or two and get your total over 100 inches so that you're in the running. Dude, this is a competitive tournament so far, and I am all the more glad that I did not join. I knew that if I did, I would just be donating money to one or two of you guys, and that it would be foolish for me to join, especially this time of year, because I'm not going to be catching big fish for another month, and bedfish for probably 2 months. It's crazy to think that the full moon was what, today or yesterday? And my fish are frozen right now. Now, my water is not frozen, but my water is freezing cold. Definitely still in the 40s. So my fish have not done anything yet, especially bite my baits, and that bothers me. Now, I've only been out like 4 times for 1 or 2 hours each. So I kind of deserve it, but also it's obnoxious. Dave Jolly, thanks for hanging out tonight, dude. Appreciate you. If you or Brendan are leaving and you didn't already hit the thumbs up, do me that solid real quick. But thank you. Brian, I am interested. It's in my cart. Let's be honest. I'll show you. That's one main reason that I came over here is for this bait. Now, do I think that it's a direct copycat? Yes. What's going on here? It doesn't show the size. I don't know what's happening here right now, but I guess because here we go. Unrigged. One comes rigged with a top hook and one comes unrigged. So the unrigged in the 7-inch is what appeals to me. Now, Brendan showed a little preview of this, I think, last night. And I will say, I don't know. The hook slot is definitely longer than what you get on the Mag Draft Freestyle. And the dorsal fin is split so that if you use an extra big hook, it can hide and rest inside this dorsal fin, which I suppose is cool. But otherwise, this is essentially a Mag Draft Freestyle copycat with a somewhat upside down tail. So what do I think of it? I think the 6-inch is meh. Kind of upsets me because it's like a direct copycat of the Mag Draft Freestyle. But the 7-inch is something that, you know, when I posted initial videos of like, I think it was new for 2019 when I posted the videos unboxing the 6-inch Mag Draft Freestyle, saying it's only a matter of time until they come out with different sizes of this exact bait and I'm excited to explore those too. And they didn't. So that's disappointing that the Mag Draft Freestyle only comes in a 6-inch. The Mag Draft comes in an 8-inch and a 10-inch. The Mag Slow comes in a 7 and a 9. And in the JDM versions, both the Mag Draft and the Mag Slow come in a 5-inch. Brendan said last night, sure, you can find the 7-inch Mag Slow and you can take the harness out and mend it. That's not the same thing. That's not what we're talking about right now. This is two baits for $13 or $14, right? What does the price show? $14. So $7 per bait. That's pretty affordable for a 7-inch soft plastic swim bait, unrigged. So that is why I am interested. No, I did not see his video of how he rigs it line through. With WD-40, what? No, I did not see that. I'm sure that you can rig it line through. We were talking the other night about how I'm kind of excited to see the 6th Sense line through swim bait come out. I have no idea what that's actually going to look like, but I'm curious. But the 7-inch dangerous swim bait appeals to me just because of its size. So for what it's worth, I'm halfway interested. Okay. Daniel says, I feel like it's going to be a tough tournament to win because some of the tournament host buddies was winning with an over 20-inch average. Yeah, I noticed that last night when Jermaine was announcing like what the current standings were, that someone was at like 103 inches for 5 fish. I was like, dang, I definitely would not have beaten that, let alone at this stage in the month. So good on them, but I'm glad I didn't enter. If something like that did exist in, say, June, July, or August, would I enter for fun? Probably. Would I expect to win? No. So that's just the reality of living in Colorado. I catch a lot of like 16 to 18 to maybe upwards of 20-inch fish. Now, occasionally I'll catch like a 22-inch fish, but very rare for me. So for me to average 20 or 21 in a 5 fish limit, even over the course of a month, is not likely for me. But now, what are spray straws, John? I've used a coffee stir style straw to thread through a swim bait and rig it line through. I even posted a video like that some years ago in rigging a Kitech as a line through, and I've done that. But I've learned over time that you do need to counterweight the bait in order for it to run true, which is why I'm particularly interested in the 6 Sense treble heads, right? Is those line through treble heads with the weight in the front. But you say he does a cool trick by cutting a piece of the WD-40 spray tube. Wait, okay, so the tube that comes with a WD-40 can? Why is that different than like a coffee stirrer? A little bit more rigid, perhaps, but I don't know. River Hasu Mag Draft. Okay, is that the new color? Yeah. Wait. I don't know what you're talking about. Matt goes so far down the rabbit hole that sometimes I don't know what he's talking about when it's JDM stuff. Yeah, Tim. I mean, I get it, but I also don't respect it, right? You got to understand where he's coming from money-wise. Guggen's got the money, and they're willing to pay pros to back their brand, given that they suckered a lot of young kids and now they need to sucker a lot of other more mainstream bass fishermen. So by getting some pros on board and paying them pretty decently, better than a standard pro staff or sponsorship for a professional fisherman. I don't blame either one of them for doing it, but how much Guggen stuff is he actually going to fish? I mean, Bass Mafia doesn't even have the name Guggen on it technically, so I don't blame him, but also most of us see right through it, and that sucks. Is that true, Matt? His contract with Megabass ended? I doubt that, dude. He could have renewed his contract with Megabass. I think Zaldane is savvy enough of a businessman and good enough of a fisherman that if he wanted to stay with Megabass, he easily could have. Randy Blockett is not that. Chris Zaldane is. So I think Tim's right. It all came down to the money. And Guggen probably offered him better money and offered him a better opportunity to grow his social media following and make him more money as a secondary method, if you will. So, yeah. Multi-jointed mag draft swimmer. Well, remind me of that after this stream because I'm curious, but I don't know about that. Yeah, that makes sense, Brian. He also puts a weight on before the hook, tucks it into the hook slot. Yeah, so with like a Kitech, for example, they are designed with hook slots built into them. Let's see if I can grab a Kitech and show you what I mean. You probably wouldn't know this unless you go on to Kitech's website, but like this is a Kitech 5.8. Most people would just think to use this with a straight exposed jig head or a keel weighted belly hook, but most people would not think to rig this with a standard EWG hook and throw nail weights into the belly. Do you see that little hole punched there? And that hole punched there. There are two holes just left and right of center of the bait. And they're not even holes so much as like pilot holes, just little dimples in the bait that show you where to rig it. Right there, inside that light. Right there, inside that light. Okay. If you went on to Kitech's website, you would see them giving you advice to put nail weights in the bottom of the bait and to use a weightless EWG style hook. So, yep, Nico weights are exactly what I'm talking about. Brandon Palaniuk took his spot. Megabass isn't hurting. Take it easy, Dustin. Brandon Palaniuk and Chris Zaldane are not the same fishermen, but have kind of similar stories. So I don't blame you saying that. Yeah, contract ended, but that doesn't mean that Megabass wasn't willing to extend. It probably just means that they were offering him a different type of deal than what he wanted. It was probably more in the way of free baits or an affiliate deal as opposed to paid contract. And he was looking for the cash money at that point. Now, I could be totally off, and it might just be dollar versus dollar. and Guggen was willing to offer him 2 or 5 times as much, and it was an easy decision for him. But yeah, you're right. It's all about the livelihood at that point. So, you got to do what you got to do to make a living. But Zaldane has his own podcast. He has a good YouTube channel. He's living on the road, has an RV, in addition to a house. Like, the dude's doing just fine. So I don't know. How much is he fishing Megabass still while sponsored by Guggen is the real question. No, I did not. I mean, I would be less surprised if he was meeting up, handing out Guggen stuff as opposed to meeting up, handing out Megabass stuff. But yeah, Carl, nail weights in the bottom of a Kitech, something that nobody talks about except for Kitech on their own website. So I don't really understand donuts. Make sure to donut. Yeah, I might go donut tomorrow, by the way. That sounds delicious. I could go for some Krispy Kreme right about now. Me too, man. I want some donuts. I think you're right, Tim. My guess is he probably throws majority Megabass as well as whatever he wants to throw. But just like most pro fishermen, he's got to do his duties in satisfying his sponsors, right? Got to fulfill those obligations in showing up and mostly filming content for the sponsors, which who knows? He's just going on adventures with the Guggens. They're not even talking about the Guggen baits all that much. I mean, shit, we all know that John B doesn't throw Guggen baits, right? I mean, let's be honest. Um, Rand Dizzle needs to know that. Um, what's the dude? Extreme Outdoorsman on Instagram and YouTube. Uh, I should know what his first and last name is, but I don't remember. I mean, he throws Guggen baits like he's the ultimate fanboy, but yeah, little does he know that most of the Guggens don't actually throw the Guggen baits all that much. I think whatever. I shouldn't talk about them too much. But how many fans turned on Chris when he went Guggen? I don't know. I honestly don't know. You're addicted to pancakes with peanut butter and honey? Dude, how about Nutella? Do you throw Nutella on pancakes or on toast? Because if you don't, you're missing out. I mean, shoot, now even Walmart and a bunch of other brands make knockoff Nutella, and it is legit. Nutella is like crack in my house. I have to be careful about how much I let my kids have it because it's so good on anything. I mean, shoot, we'll even throw Nutella on Oreos, dude. And we don't have Oreos that often, but it's just a reality. I don't know what I did to kick out half of the audience in here tonight, but dude, Nutter Butters. What about Nutty Buddy from Little Debbie? I I recently bought those, and as a family, we wolfed through the entire box in like one day. And I proceeded to look at the nutritional facts about them. I freaked myself out so fast. It's just got like the trifecta of saturated fat, calories, and sugar that like I think you're bound to die in probably 2 years if you ate a Nutty Buddy every day. But yes, Nutter Butters, mm, delicious. Peanut butter pretzels, delicious. Uh, Look what you guys are doing to me. I'm gonna go upstairs and pig out before I go to bed, and hopefully I brush my teeth before bed, Matt. We all need to take it easy on the sugar. Homemade is healthier. Yeah, man. Sometime I will show you guys, and I wish you guys all lived here so that I could allow you to try my wife's homemade chocolate chip cookies. They are to die for. I swear, if she released a brand that shipped nationally or internationally, I mean, she'd be in loads of fast food joints as just like point of sale purchases and in grocery stores and everything like that. But her recipe for chocolate chip cookies is like a drug. And we've had to keep it secret from everybody we know. It was not until the other night that she told both of my daughters, who are now 4, almost 5, and 7, that she will share it with them when they move out of the house. I was so surprised that she said that. Um, she has not shared the recipe with anybody, and intentionally. Like, I forget who she got the recipe from some 10 or 12 years ago, but they held her to secrecy, and she will not. No, John, butter is the secret. Although she won't tell me what the secret is, dude. Um, the main things that I can recognize are butter, salt, um, and there's something other that's sneaky, but it's not like cinnamon sugar or anything that you would think of, but they are deadly. Deadly. What does Matt eat other than edibles? We know that Matt eats marijuana. Nom, 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 nom. And I used to, but I don't. Not edibles. Yeah, no, I hear you. I felt the same way about Lake Fork guy. I hate that I don't know their real names, but yeah, for me it was Lake Fork guy and John B. Mostly, not Lunkers. He's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know if it's him being in the military or just his personality and attitude in general, but yeah, he's a little bit less down to earth than the rest of the guys, especially Lake Fork guy and John B. Milk and cookies, nom nom nom. Extra vanilla, not it, dude. You're not supposed to tell us, but Crisco's not the deal. I'll tell you that. Maybe it is for you. I don't know. That's an interesting point, Frank. When you were 6, your mom said that she would never buy another jar of Nutella if that one didn't last more than a week. Huh. I can't do that. Although ours lasts more than a week almost every single time. So marijuana is bad. This is true. Brendan, do not go down that rabbit hole. It did me wrong. Well, it did me right for a long time and then did me wrong for, I don't know, 3 to 5 to 8 or 10 years. Um, yeah, not a good thing. All right. Let's just be honest. Can be good for the right people, but for anyone who has an addictive personality, don't go down that rabbit hole, especially as it's becoming legalized everywhere. Not necessarily federally, but yeah, weed is bad for kids, especially kids. And I was pretty hard on it from the time that I was what, 19, 18 to 30. I don't know what to say. Um, but especially in those like college years. All right, guys. I hate to say, but I feel like I am about to pee my pants a second time. So what I'm going to do is just down this not quite shots worth of Elijah Craig and bid you adieu. Tonight has been fun. I appreciate y'all's support. You know, we had 30 plus people in here at one time. We're down to 16. Thank you for hanging out. I will be back on soon, but keep your eye out for the giveaway for 2 Megabass sleeper craws coming up in the next day or two, and going to be running for, I don't know, at least a few days, if not maybe upwards of a week. And these are the 2 colors that are going to be given away. Natural Pro Blue and Scuppernong. Okay. Very natural colors. One is more of a brown/red color, and one is more of a translucent with blue iridescence to it. So thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Hope you have a great rest of your night. If I don't see you again live until after the weekend, have a good one. Good luck out on the water, especially for those of you entered in the current YouTubers tournament going on. Cheers. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys. Love you.